Durant, the long reach. Tatum, crossover, pull-up jumper. It's good! 50 points for Jason Tatum. It's a 7-point lead. Timeout, Brooklyn. Jason Tatum with a masterpiece.
What a night for Jason Tatum. It's not easy to make Celtic history, but he did just when they needed it. And the Boston Celtics have life in their first-round series with the Brooklyn Nets now trailing just 2-1 with another home game coming up in Game 4. Welcome in. It's Playoff Central Live, presented by State Farm. Brian Howland's over there. Carlos Boozer. I'm Matt Weiner. We got the big lineup here in the studio tonight. We've been, us and the other folks I've been talking to about this series have basically reached the same conclusion that the Celtics will need Jason Tatum to have games like this if they're going to have a shot in this series, and they got it tonight. Let's go to Steve Nash, who has reached the podium early on. His Brooklyn Nets take it on the chin tonight, but still hold a 2-1 lead.
Start tonight, and then they came back, and all of a sudden you're kind of playing catch the rest of the game. Where do you think they overtook the game with you guys tonight?
Well, they played well. I mean, I think they were a little desperate and became the aggressor after our hot start. They were the ones looking to drive the ball. They were looking to step in the threes, and they got themselves going. And so, they took the momentum and their crowd with them. They started to feel a little confidence for the first time in the 3 games, and we didn't get enough stops.
Brian Lewis with the New York Post.
This is twofold, Steve. When you guys had tied it up on those KD free throws at 75 all, the game is there for the taking. Are you surprised or disappointed at your guys' defense at that point? I think you let him hit like 7 of 8, something like that. And do you think the second question is, do you think the crowd here played any role in Kyrie? It looked like he had a hard time getting started in the first half.
I don't think the crowd limited Kai. I don't think so. But I don't know. At this point, I just think we all feel like we could have played better defensively. We didn't get stops when it mattered, and for large portions of the game, we gave up 125 points. So it's just too many big quarters for them. They had high 20s or 30s all 4 quarters. Not a great performance, but it could be good for us. It's so new for us to face a little adversity, to go through some of these battles and challenges, to pick ourselves up and look over some things tomorrow and come back on Sunday.
Tom Dowd, BrooklynNets.com.
Steve, just curious what you saw on the offense. Then obviously, Harden and Durant scored a ton for you tonight. Just curious about the offensive rhythm beyond that.
Yeah, I thought for big portions we got a little stagnant. We got away from our movement. I thought, James was scoring in isolation, Kevin was scoring in isolation, but I still think that we can be more difficult to guard in general if we move the ball and get to isolations as a second resort. Again, like I said, we got to learn from this, take something from it. How can we refine what we're doing and add this to our experiences?
Christian Winfield, New York Daily News.
Hey, Coach, just not having Jeff out there, how did that impact the game? And then did that play a factor in how Tristan Thompson was able to dominate the offensive glass? And I remember you saying that Jeff's absence would create more time for Nick. What did you think of Nick's performance? And do you think that maybe DeAndre might be up for some minutes since he might be a guy who can help contain Tristan like that?
I don't know that Jeff, his strength is going to be keeping Thompson off the glass, but we certainly miss his versatility, his ability to play multiple positions, multiple roles. Nick had an up and down night, young player trying to figure it out in a big moment, but that's going to come for Nick. We believe in him. We want to support him. Anyone can play for us. You look down our bench. We believe and trust in all these guys. There's probably not enough minutes to go around, but we can always push different buttons and play different guys, and that kind of happens from judging the flow of the game standpoint.
Ian O'Connor, New York Post.
Steve, I think obviously a lot of people felt like entering tonight, you guys were in complete control of this series, and I'm just curious if you're concerned at all that you gave the Celtics a reason to believe by allowing them to win this game, and if so, why? And if not, why not?
No, I mean, they definitely are going to have belief now. They got to win at home, and we're able to stop the momentum after playing 2 games in Brooklyn. So, big challenge for us. We got to come out and be sharper, be better at both ends of the floor, and try to slow them down and execute offensively.
Back to Alex Schiffer.
You guys did such a good job guarding Tatum in the first 2 games of the series. Now, with his 50-point performance, how much do you chalk up to a guy getting hot, star player getting hot, and kind of tip your cap to maybe you guys going away from the game plan to the defensive principles?
I think there's 2 components to it. One, we'll refine what we're doing. We'll look at the tape and get better at that. And then the other part of it is just having that fight and just trying to make it as hard as possible for them in general and for Tatum. We know what he's capable of. He's had 3 other, I think, 50-point performances before this one in the last 3-4 weeks. We did a good job at home, but that's a job that's going to take a lot of resilience and continue to be there to guard him and to make it difficult for him as a group, put different people on him, be able to support those who need support, and be able to lock him up when we have guys that can guard him.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
Okay, thanks everybody. Thanks.
Celtics shoot better than 50%, knock down 16 threes to get the win and get 50 from Jason Tatum. Here's his head coach, Brad Stevens.
I didn't think it was as good as game 1. But I thought we did some good things. We have to, obviously they have a lot of special players, and we have to make sure we're there on those guys appropriately. But, I thought that, we played really good offense for the most part, although we missed some opportunities, but you're going to do that. But defensively, we were more in tune than game 2, but certainly not as good as game 1.
Mark Murphy.
Hey, Brad, I know Jason had his big night tonight, but it seemed that Tristan really set a physical tone for you early. How much did that help?
Yeah, Tristan played really well. I thought all night. Did a good job on the glass, good job defensively, and then scored the ball. I mean, obviously, if you can get 19 and 13, that's a huge night. So that was he did a good job. We had a lot of guys step up, but, around Jason being special.
Tim Bontemps.
Brad, obviously, Brooklyn got out to that hot start, had that 19-4 lead early when you called timeout. What changed there that allowed you guys to turn things around so quickly and get right back into the game by the end of the first quarter?
I told the team at that timeout, our look was good. Like that start of that game was not the same as the start of game 2. We were generating good looks on one end. They were hitting ridiculous shots on the other. So we looked like we were engaged in each other. We looked like we were going to be able to chip away and get it back at that lead. It was a much different feeling than when it was 19-13 on whatever day we played them last. I thought that we just looked different. And so I thought that, that's a hole. You don't want the hole to get too big against these guys, but I knew that we looked like we would play better.
Taking.
Brad, you said after practice the last couple of days that one of the things you needed to do for Jason was to space better around him. What did you think you guys did better to set him up with better opportunities against good matchups tonight?
Well, I don't think, all the matchups are hard. They're all good defenders. They're all good individual athletes. Like, they're all hard. It takes a great player to score in a one-on-one situation on any of them. But I thought that Jason did a good job of that. He hit some tough shots. But then I also thought that when we go back and look at it, I thought we were spaced pretty well around him. He did a good job finding guys at different times. Smart's 2 threes in the third were huge. As they were coming back and they ultimately took that lead by 1 for a possession. But that's what you have to do because they're going to send a bunch of bodies and a bunch of help to Tatum, and he just has to make the right read.
Ryan Robb.
Hey, Brad, yeah, just following up on that, how tough is that for the decision making for Jason in those spots when they are throwing those bodies at him, and just the improvement you've seen over tonight in terms of him just making those right reads, whether it's attacking himself or finding the open man.
I mean, he's getting really good at it. I think he's so advanced again for 23 years old. It's, I've said the word special. I don't say that very often, obviously. And he just has a unique ability to score the ball, to slither through seams, to find angles to score, but then also he's got the vision